Since this is my life, my identity, that we're kicking around like a football, I'd like to make sure I understand just what went down. You, Holly Sutton, are my mother. You carried me in your body for 9 months. You gave birth to me, and then you dumped me off on the first family you could find.
I know that's how it must seem, but I promise you it wasn't that easy.
Well, you don't seem any worse the way, do you?
I can understand that you would be really angry, and you have
Look, just stop,
right.
okay? I don't need your permission to be angry. And don't you dare interrupt me while we're trying to get this story straight. You wouldn't want to confuse us now, would you? So, you pass me off on the first fool you can find, then go on your merry little way. And you don't tell my father, that father being Robert Scorpio and not Luke.
Correct.
Okay, good. We wouldn't want to get that part wrong, would we?
No, we wouldn't, would we? Not that part. So what the hell is the reason that you've made me think that this is my kid? Our road has never been a smooth one, English, but I don't want to believe that you would deliberately hurt us like this.
Come on, don't be so naive, Luke. She never gave it that much thought. You were too busy playing your sick little game, weren't you?
Ethan's right. I got bored. I was looking back over my life for something good enough to revisit, and, well, naturally, you came to mind.
Naturally. I just came to mind. That is so flattering.
Yeah, but of course she needed some bait, right? So while she's sitting there, reflecting back over her life, she slaps her forehead and goes, "Oh, wait, didn't I throw away a son I could use?"
That isn't how it happened. But yes, you were the means to an end. I knew I couldn't just show up on your doorstep. That wouldn't grab your attention, not the way I wanted to, so I decided to leave a trail that led to Ethan being your son.
Why tell us the truth now?
I finally came to my senses. Let's just leave it at that.
I wouldn't want to leave you in the lurch. So, whether you decide to pick up the slack yourself or hire somebody to do the dirty work, at least the bar will be good to go.
You planning to hop out of here, Joey?
I see no reason to stick around anymore.
I know how difficult.
You don't know a damn thing about me. You never can, so why would you start now? I was just a pawn in your game with Luke.
I honestly didn't.
You drop out of the sky with tales of larceny and a dog-eared photo. You send me out into the world to meet a man who I come to admire and consider a mentor. But no, he's not my father. And you knew it all along, and now with a shrug of your shoulders and a few pathetic apologies, you expect me to make it all right for you. No harm done. Well, harm was done. To me and to Luke. But that doesn't matter to you, does it? You know, I could have happily lived out the rest of my godforsaken life without knowing you and Robert Scorpio are my parents.
So you're not my brother?
Ask Holly. She'll spin you a whole convoluted tale about it. But I don't have the time, or frankly, the stomach to hear it again.
So it's true, you're not Ethan's father?
Not according to his mother.
I'm sorry. You must be disappointed.
doesn't change my high opinion of the lad.
Maybe I should go after him.
No! Leave him alone. Let him tend his wounds.
I think that I can help.
Let me know if he's okay.
Nice going.
She's right. I've made a bloody mess of everything.
You have no idea what kind of damage you've done here, English. But even so, when the dust settles, you still have yourself one hell of a son.
Aren't you going to lace it with arsenic?
I mean you no harm.
Maybe you should. Maybe we'd both feel better if you did.
No, we wouldn't.
I've always had this image of myself, one I've grown rather attached to, that I'm a white glove criminal, a charming thief and raconteur, someone who'd steal your money in a heartbeat but never leave any irreparable damage.
Well, I don't think that's far off the mark. I've never known you to be malicious.
I think Ethan would disagree with you on that. I knew him the moment I saw him. It was instant recognition. I saw him across the pool. He was tending bar. And as I walked towards him, my heart was beating so fast and so hard. I was sure he had to be able to see it. And I wanted to hold him so close. Closer than I'd ever held anybody else before. But instead, I sat down and ordered a drink and pretended to be a clever stranger. I could have told him the truth. But I was too much of a coward. I told him about you. And I gave him the picture of you and Robert and sent him on his way. I told myself, or I convinced myself, that it was out of my hands. It was up to fate. But that was just an elaborate way of not facing the fact that I was a coward. But now my son... I'm sorry, Luke. I'm so sorry.